Hello, John here again, and welcome to episode 12 of our community game development series using PyGame, the Hunchback series. And oh, I need a drink. Lovely. Tango, by the way. And I forgot where I was now. Oh yeah. And in this episode, we are going to give the illusion that the man's walking within the space, within his space, in his virtual environment on the Raspberry Pi. So basically, now we've worked out how to make the screen scroll, we need to make the screen scroll according to where our character or our man is within that screen. And what I mean by that is, this is the sort of thing that we're going to be doing. So this elongated picture, and as you can see we've got two pictures together, is what you would class as our staging area. This is our stage, yeah? This is the thing, this is where our man's going to be walking around in his environment, and the blue area is the bit that we see of that staging area. And so what we want is for our little man, as he walks, tootles along the screen like so, as soon as he gets to a point there, say, we want it, let me do this, that's it, we want it that when he carries on doing that, the screen follows him and shows a different part of the picture. But when he stops and then starts walking back, like so, we want it that when he gets to a certain point, say here, let me do this, that as soon as he carries on walking back, that the display area follows him. Yeah? So it follows him. So the display area is following the man, but we can't move the display area. So it means that the staging area is going backwards and forwards in the background, which gives the impression that our display area is moving, when in fact it's not. Yeah? It's a bit of a trick, it's a bit of a trickery of the eyes. But that's the plan. Yeah? So we need for this, we need to have our man, you know, in the staging area space. We need our man, the graphic, within, so we know where the man with the graphic is in the display space. We need to know where we want to start scrolling in both directions. So they're the sort of things that we need to work out and code for. So let's get back into the Pi. So here we are. Let's create a new one. So let's call this, it's episode 12. And, okay, make the player move about the stage. .py. Core, these file names are getting longer. Right, so let's copy this lot. Paste it in here. So that's our starting point. Close that down. So we need some more variables, and we need first we need to know the size of our background. Yeah. So let's put that in. So background width equals background dot get rec dot width. Do we need to know the height? No, we don't. Okay. We need the staging area. So stage width, and we're going to make that 3 times our background width. Oops. For now, we're going to make it 3 times our background width. So the background will scroll backwards and forwards for 3 of its iterations. We're going to initialize the staging position X at 0. And then we need to work out the left scroll and the right scroll. So basically, so the left scroll position, we need to capture the man before he gets stopped by the boundary. So we basically need to do what we've done below here. Okay, so the left position is going to be this one. No, that's the right position, isn't it? I think that's the right position, because with key right, it's going to be the right position, yeah. So start scroll, scrolling right position. I'll just do pause. X equals that. But we want to add, take away some, because we don't want to hit our test where we test for him to fall off the screen. So we'll say that it's going to be a gap that's 1.5 times bigger than we did, and so that means that it's just that one for left. So start scrolling left, pause X equals that, and then we'll do the same thing again. Oh, gotta put OCD, put brackets round, and then we need a sprite X, which should be, to start with, player X, because we're going to start in the same place. So the sprite X is where we're going to put the sprite in the screen. The player X is the value of his X in comparison to the staging area. Right, some more mathematics. So we need to work out what needs to be done where. So we are going to be basing all our maths on the player X position. Right. So we need to add something and start working out basically the sprite position. So sprite position X is going to equal, of course, the player X position. Now, so the player X position is where it is in the staging area, and so we need to add the staging position X to it as well. Because as we go right, player X is getting bigger, so that would be, player X would be 20, but the staging X position could be minus 20, because the X position of the stage would be moving away from him. So we've got to add them together to give us the sprite position in the screen. Yes, that sounds logically right. then we need to test to see if the sprite position, so sprite position is less than, so if less than, it's going to be the left hand side. It's less than sprite start scrolling left. Why is that only I just picked up? Have I spelt it wrong? Start scrolling right, start scrolling left. Oh, okay. So we are going to test for that, and if it is that, we're going to lock it, the sprite position, to that, because we don't want it to move, and we'll move the stage in X position. So if we're moving left, no, left is that way. Yes, so we're going left, aren't we? So we're going left. So that means the start X position has got to be minus, hasn't it? Minus, it's going the wrong way. Player velocity. So instead of adding this to the, instead of adding it to the player velocity, we're adding it to the staging place. And then we've got to do the right hand side. So same thing again, sprite X is greater than start scrolling right. Go on, pick the name up. There we go. So this is going to be the same thing again. So sprite X equals start right X position, and staging is plus equal player velocity. So we've tested for the left hand side, and if it's the left hand side, we move the background, keep the player where it is. On the right hand side, we move the background again. So the left hand side is the background's going to move to the right. No, that's plus, isn't it? Yeah, that's a plus. This is the minus. Just thinking, right. Whoa, what are you doing? Go away. And you. So when we tell the character to go left, he's going left until he hits the left position, but the background will not be going left, it'll be going right to give the impression he's going left. So to go right, we need to add to the staging position. Now if he moves over to the right hand side, then we fix him there, and we need to make the background go left, which means the background needs to be going in a negative direction. Right, we've got it. Got it. So now we've worked out the sprite position and the background position. Then we need to change this, because that is now stage position X. And we'll change this because we now know it's background width. And here it's the, yeah, it's still the relative, but we'll change this to be our background width now, because we've worked it out. We don't need to keep calling that function all the time. Background width. And if it's done it, it's done it. Can't be that easy. Well, it's all about the player. It's all about the player, the sprite position now, because we know that the background scrolling works. It's just a case of which direction it goes. So it's all about the sprite. Right. Okay. Shall we run it? Ooh. syntax error. Syntax error. Why is that a syntax error? Oh, I forgot a bracket. Right, okay. Let's have another bash at it. Ooh. Background. Oh, is it? I'll put a capital. Why did that pick it up the first time round? Okay, let's try again. Right. Okay, so there's our man. And he's wandering around the screen. Not a care in the world. Right. So we're looking for, it's going to hit somewhere around here. And then it should fix the sprite and then carry on. And then the background should come in this direction. So here we go. Well, it did it, but then it stopped. Let's go the other way. Does it move? And then it stops. Okay, let's have a look. So, player velocity is the right position, that's over this side. So the screen width minus the player width minus the velocity times 1.5 and the player velocity. Right, so that works. So, what is going on here then? Why does this not work? Plank, you're a plank. Oh, you're an absolute plank. I've got the sprite X position. Do we put that on the sprite? No, we're putting it on the player. Oh, God dear. What a plank. Right, let's try it again. Let's see if it'll do it. Right, we'll go this way because we don't have to walk so far. So here we go. Gonna go left. I forgot we left from right. So I'm going to go left. Here we go. Do we scroll? Well, we do, but then it just stops. Why have you stopped? You're supposed to carry on. You're supposed to carry on. So it just does it for one and then stops. Yeah, it's doing it for one and then stops. It can't be this. It can't be this. It can't be that. So we're getting the width. Staging width is 3. So the staging width is 3 times the border. So start sprite plus that equals that. Oh, hang on. Have I made a boo-boo? Right. Let's sort that out for one. So that's still using our sprite X, character images, sprite X there. We don't need this, even though it's probably not making a blind bit of difference, because why is that not working then? Let's put a breakpoint there. Right, so go over it. Sprite X 50 should be the same. Sprite X position should be the same as the play position. 50. Right. So let's put a breakpoint there and a breakpoint there. Run. So we'll go back. See how it goes. So sprite X is equal to the left X position, which is what we say. And then the start X, start X, start staging position X. Oh, still got little numbers, look. Still got little letters. Stage position X. Stage position X. Is that all it is? Right, let's take these off and let's try again. No, it's stopping. I wonder if this is getting in the way. Staring me in the face. Okay. Let's see if that does it. I don't think it will, but we'll try it. Let's see if this sorts this one out. There we go. I know it's a bit jerky on VNC, but then we'll go the other way. Oh, I can't believe it was just a stupid thing like that. Forgot to tell it what its staging area was. So we should find it should stop when it gets to the edge of the staging area. So that must be this bitmap. Yeah. So that's that bitmap. So if we go back, so that's background number 1. Well, background number 3. Right, here's background number 2 coming in, and it's scrolling. Here's background number 1. Right then, let's start the recording on the Raspberry Pi and we'll see what we can get up to. Let's see if it works on that. Right, so here we are on the Raspberry Pi. So that's where we left him. So let's go forward and see what the scroll's like. Oh, it's as smooth as you like as well. Look how quick it's going. So that's background 2 and then background 3. Okay, we ain't tried jumping. Right, here we go. Oh, and it's still doing it when it's jumping. Me and my fat fingers on this teeny tiny keyboard. Oh, wicked. So there we've got a scrolling background to give the impression that he's walking. And it's only 3 backgrounds wide. We could make it infinite, you know. Could. Oh, it's pretty cool, that is. That is pretty cool. Right. I think mission accomplished. Right. So the next things we need to do, because at the moment we're just moving an image around. Yeah, the sprite is not really a sprite; it's just an image that's moving around, has no interaction with the screen whatsoever. What we need to do now is we need to start learning about sprites and how we can handle the sprites. And to do that, we need to start thinking about objects and classes. Now, I said we weren't going to be going completely objectifying this code. Well, we're not. We're gonna class the object. I've got to be careful what I'm going to say here. The classes that we're going to create are going to mimic the files that we'll create in assembly. So do you know when we had a game flow file and a game screen file and a game control file and all that, game memory file and stuff like that? Well, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it in classes, right? Just so it makes it easy, because sprites in PyGame are object classes, and so it makes it just a little bit easier to do. But I'm not going to write them where it's inheritance or anything rubbish like that. We're going to write the classes just to separate the code out, so we know when we come to do it in assembly that this is a game memory code, this is a sprite, this is sprite code, this is the flow code, and this is whatever. Yeah. So I think that will be the next thing we need to do, is to build a template out with what we want to do. Yeah. Build a template out. We'll build a gaming template out first with exactly what we need to do, and then we'll start putting all the sprite stuff in, and we'll try and recreate what we've got here. Yeah, but in terms of sprites this time, which shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that difficult, and then we'll start adding other things like platforms in. So that will give you an indication of how Hunchback is going to work, because basically Hunchback was a platform game, but it was just on the same level, if you think about it. Right, I've been waffling on for half an hour now. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you didn't like the video, fine, hit the dislike button. Always leave me a comment. And if you'd like to support the channel, I have a Patreon system that allows you to support me and this channel. All the money raised in Patreon is spent on this channel, you know, like Raspberry Pis and stuff. And with that, I'll say I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye. I'd like to thank all the patrons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.